Hey everybody, so Zach here, and I'm trying a new format for some of my videos. This one I'll be talking about Anna and the Apocalypse, a musical zombie comedy. Yes, that's right, back in 2017 there was a musical comedy with zombies. And it's also a Christmas movie, I guess. And the first thing I have to say about this film is that it is refreshingly predictable. In something that's a genre mashup that has so many different flavors to bring to the table, the food is something that you've had before, and ultimately that's what makes it suffer. One of the songs is about how not everything turns out like a Hollywood ending, but I've seen the ending to this movie in several other movies, so really they stand out and do something different by also doing something that's already been done the same way several times. I'll start off right away by saying that this is actually a pretty good movie. I did enjoy it, even the musical parts, because this may shock you, but I don't like musicals at all. There are, of course, always exceptions to this. There are some things like the musical episode of Buffy, which actually is pretty good, and a few films here and there. But overall, musicals are just not my thing. Even though I'm a musician, I just don't enjoy them. And even though zombies have been done to death, pardon the pun, or don't, I love it, this movie actually works on a few levels. One thing it has going for it is the fact that the music isn't terrible. Most of the songs have very catchy choruses, and that at least gives you something to listen to. But the thing that puts it at odds with itself is that the music works, and the film works, but together it kind of doesn't. The first half hour or so is actually pretty good in letting you know who these characters are, and it makes you feel something for them, at least partially, to where you don't want to see anything bad happen to them. And with the musical numbers, you're like, oh good, they're a lively group of kids with some decent songs. The problem is that you know what's coming next.
Zombies.
And once it shifts into that, you know that some of them are not going to make it. And this all leads to the last part of the film, which is something that you've seen before, many times. A lot of the same course of events happen that you've seen in other horror movies, specifically in other zombie movies or zombie type movies. I won't give any spoilers because I think you should check it out at least once, even if it's not your thing. I have seen another review that said that most of these songs were terrible with few memorable numbers and a lot of auto-tune. Well, I can tell you surprisingly this has almost no pitch corrector auto-tune in it. Yes, you can hear it in some of the actors' voices, but for the most part, they sound pretty natural, which is something that's actually pretty rare today because you can usually tell right away, especially if you've listened and used autotune quite a bit. So maybe that reviewer just heard that little bit and to them it stood out even more, but as someone who has been playing music for years and years and years of my life, decades even, I gotta say the autotune and pitch correct was very minimal, at least from what I could hear. It could be my TV was bad, who knows, but I think it was actually okay. So overall, what should have been a super memorable movie ends up being just a little bit above average. Not great, just pretty good. But I do recommend you give it at least one watch just to see for yourself. That's all for now, my short review of Anna and the Apocalypse. My name is Zach Bishop. You can support these videos and music at Patreon/TheBisness. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. See you again soon. Well, actually, you'll see me, I guess. I won't see you most likely.